All right, we're rolling.
Good morning and welcome back, Bears. It is great to see all of you again and welcome for the 2015-16 school year. Currently, we have about 1,430 students that will be enrolled at William Crispin High School today. It is the 128th year of William Crispin High School. Obviously, the oldest high school in Independence and Sugar Creek. And again, we'd like to welcome you back to the start of the school year. As you return, you will still belong to a house, and that is for the purpose of which administrator and which counselor has been assigned to you. Those of you that have been with us all 4 of your school years here, or 3 or 2, or those coming in, all of you will belong to a house. And that house allows each of our assistant principals and counselors to remain in contact with you and primarily responsible for you all 4 years that you are here. When you come in William Crispin High School, the first individuals that you will usually see are both Miss Leah and Miss Amber up front, our attendance secretaries. Miss Monica is my personal secretary, and anytime that you need to set an appointment to talk with me, please contact Monica. Our 2 secretaries that are in the back office, that if you are called down to talk to an assistant principal or need to talk to an assistant principal, are Miss Molly and Miss Christie. And Miss Christie is new to us this year. If you need to see a counselor across the hallway, Diane Bennett is there, and that's who you contact to schedule an appointment to meet with your counselors. Our SRO returns to us again this year, Officer Gary Becker. He joined us last year and returns to us. And so anytime that you need to talk to him, he is in the same office up front. Just talk to Miss Leah or Miss Amber and his availability, and you'll be able to check with him and share with him any needs that you have. Our doors open to William Crispin High School. Our outer doors open a little bit before 6:30 every morning. So if you're dropped off or come early to school, those outside doors will allow you to enter into the outside area, that way getting out of the cold or the wet or the heat in regard to waiting safely inside. The inside of the doors, just like last year, will open at 6:50. And at 6:50 then in the morning, which is a full 30 minutes before classes start, you can come inside. You can come into the atrium. You can walk the halls. You can go to a classroom, or you can go and have breakfast. And you can be in any of those areas, the cafeteria, or throughout the building during that time. You'll have a 5-minute bell at 7:15, and that is a heads up to go ahead and start moving to class. 7:20, the tardy bell rings, which begins first block. This year we have 8 blocks on our schedule. In years past, we have had 7 blocks and a focus. This year we have taken focus out and added an extra block, which means you have an extra opportunity at class and credit that you can earn towards graduation. You still need 25 credits for graduation, but those of you now here at William Crispin High School and throughout the district have 8 blocks during the school day. Lunch will be during 5th and 6th block on an all day, and all days are Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. And we still had odd and even, so it's roughly the same schedule with just an extra block added. Lunch will now be during 5th and 6th block, and those teachers today will share with you in regard to which lunch shift that you have in the process for going to it. We will still have 4 lunch shifts. Seniors, you will still be able to get your food and showing your ID at the south exit door of the lunchroom. We'll be able to, and it is your option, to go eat lunch in the atrium. Seniors, we ask and remind you that this is a privilege, and as long as you do everything correctly in regard to showing your ID to get out, you go in the atrium for the entirety. Don't walk the building or go anywhere outside the atrium, and you pick up your trash after you finish. You are allowed to continue to use that. And I think we started this maybe 4 years ago with our seniors, and it has been something that our seniors tell us that they really appreciate. School dismisses this year at 2:15. Buses will leave and you will load once you come out the door like in years past. The buses are lined up from smallest bus number in the front all the way around our horseshoe to the biggest number in the back. Buses usually have 7 or 8 minutes to load, and so if we're dismissing at 2:15, about 2:23 they will begin pulling out. And once they begin pulling out, they do not stop. So please hustle once the dismissal bell has rung. Please hustle and get to your buses as quickly as possible. They will load up. We will come back in after the buses leave, the administrators, and in the atrium we will ask you to either get to your practice area to go work with the teacher that possibly with tutoring or extra help you need to work with, or just simply leave the building. But at about 2:25 we clean the atrium and the building area out, other than those students that are in those areas after school. Bottom line, if you are with an adult after school, you are allowed to stick around. If there is not an adult with you or your group after school, then we have to leave the building. This is an exciting time throughout the district, but also here at William Chrisman High School, because we now begin our Ford Next Generation Learning and our academies. The class of 2019, our incoming freshmen, will have 4 years to take full advantage of the academies and your ability to earn dual credit, college credit, as well as AP credit, but also earn an industry recognized certificate towards being able to apply that to a very good, well-paying, highly employable job once you leave high school. Guys, I think we did a really good job at preparing individuals in the past to be successful after high school, but now what we can offer with Ford Next Generation Learning and our academies are no matter when you want to exit your educational career. If you want to graduate in 4 years from William Chrisman High School and immediately go into the job force, the opportunities that you have here in regard to classes that you can take, the training you'll receive, and the possible certificates you can earn can make the difference from starting a job at $11, $12 an hour with the training and certificates that you can earn here during your 4 years of high school. The difference would be instead of starting at $12 an hour, you can start at $28 an hour. You can also earn college credit that can be applied to if you want to attend a 2-year college and still do it on A+. We still have the A+ program that if you meet attendance, behavior, and volunteer hours of tutoring, you can still attend at a very discounted rate, if not free, for your first 2 years at a community college and be that much further ahead with earning college credit here, as well as training to get an idea of what career you'd like to go into vocationally. Or you can attend those 2 years, apply your hours that you've earned, go ahead on to a 4-year college, which about a quarter of our students do, and be that much further ahead. Through the Academy program and the dual credit and AP courses here, students, by the time they've attended 4 years, can leave with 42 hours of college credit. And generally a college degree, a bachelor's degree, is about 120, 124 hours of college credit. So you can have about a third of your 4-year college career taken care of by the time you graduate high school. So very exciting times to meet the needs of all our students, not just those going on to college, but those getting ready to enter the workforce right after graduation, which usually accounts for about half our students. This year we will kick off the Computer Science Academy as well as the Industrial Tech IT Academy. So very exciting times in regard to that. There are also several items that we typically go over this time of year. Each of you will receive a student handbook, and you see it in the nice light blue color this year, and it says Student Handbook 2015-16. Every year this handbook remains mostly the same from the year before, but there are always things that we like to remind you of, those returning students, sophomores, juniors, and seniors this year, and make sure that our freshmen that are coming to us have the opportunity to be familiar with what our expectations are here at William Chrisman High School. Just a reminder, if you came through scheduled pickup, you would have picked up your student ID, taken that picture as far as a class picture, and been given that ID. If you did not get a lanyard or you need one, you can come down here to Miss Monica and ask for a lanyard, first one free of charge. Student IDs, we ask that you wear your ID with a lanyard around your neck at all times. If you want to check a book out in the library, or if you want to go and get lunch, you will need to have your ID around your neck. With failure to do so, say at lunch, you'll have to go to the end of the line, and everybody with their ID will be allowed to go to lunch through the scramble area before you have that opportunity. And so with a 20-minute lunch period, if you have to wait till the end of the line, does not leave you much time to get your food and eat. So it's a good idea to have your ID with you at all times. If you lose your ID and have to get a new one, first one is free. If you didn't get one, a scheduled pickup, we will make sure that you do get one as soon as possible. But they are $5 after that first one. If you have lost it and you have to get another one, it's $5 each time. Public display of affection. Those of you that have a significant other, our expectation for you is this. It's okay to hold hands, but anything in regard to kissing, or you'll hear the term smooching, please don't do that. We ask you to be respectful of your significant other and treat them with respect, and we feel that anything, be it with kissing or smooching, crosses that line. So if you want to hold hands, that's fine, but please no kissing or smooching in the public. Dress code. This is always probably the most lengthy one in your book, and on page 18, if you are following along with me in our student handbook, you can turn to, at this point, there are about 8 points, and it details the dress code in detail. But some things that we typically see at the very beginning, especially at the beginning of the school year because it's very hot, and at the end of the school year because it's very hot, we tend to wear less clothing. And unfortunately, that creates a problem. Our probably most common ones with clothing are very low tops, midriffs, and very high shorts. Please wear appropriate length shorts, appropriate shirts, no spaghetti straps. Anything that can cover your undergarments is usually a good yardstick in regard to shorts and shirts. If we see undergarments, obviously there is not enough clothing, and so we will need to modify. If there is a situation that comes up, we'll ask you to modify. We may ask you to come down to the office and find some more clothing, or have a parent bring you clothing up, but you will not be allowed to go to class until you either modify or put more clothing on. Guys, predominantly guys in regard to this, we ask that we have our pants pulled up, no bagging, no sagging. Make sure that the messages on your clothing is school appropriate. No alcohol, no drug use, no profanity. If you do not wear it to church in regard to what it might say or have on it, then chances are you probably shouldn't wear it to school either. Hats and headgear, bandanas are not allowed in any shape or form here in the building. Once you come in the building in the morning, we ask that you take it off your head and you store any hats or head coverings in your locker. You're not allowed to carry those around during the school day. If any student can prove to me that carrying their hat around will improve their math scores, I will allow you to do it. But until a student comes and shows that to me, we're not carrying them around the building. Please wear shoes at all times. And please wear appropriate shoes, and especially with our stairs. Flip-flops are a safety hazard. Please be careful and always wear shoes. Please do not wear sunglasses or any kind of face paint that will hide the identity for us to be able to identify who you are. Please no blankets, which is not a real big concern at this time with 90-degree weather. But when we get into the colder months, please do not bring or wear blankets to school. We will always try to make the appropriate changes in regard to school and room temperature, but please do not bring blankets and wrap them up and take them from class to class. Okay? Hall passes. We ask that you stay in your classroom as much as possible. Please do not leave your class. Teachers have been instructed to make every second count of every class. So when you ask to go to the bathroom or leave class or go to your locker, please, one, be well planned ahead so that anything you need you will have brought with you. But the second thing is, unless it is a true emergency, please do not leave the classroom and go to the bathroom during class time. You're giving a passing time, and please take care of those the best you can during that time. If you do need to leave class, your teacher will explain to you the appropriate and consistent expectations for every teacher with the PASS program this year. Cell phones, technology. William Chrisman High School is an open campus and an open building with technology, including cell phones. But we ask you to use it responsibly in a way that will not take away from the learning time in class. Before school, during lunchtime, and after school, you can use your cell phones. A good rule of thumb is when you leave class, you can start using it, but when you enter a classroom for the next class, shut it off and put it away. You should not have, or you should not be using your personal technology during class time. Some teachers will explain the opportunity to do that, but that teacher will have had that explanation and those expectations with you prior to you doing that. So the expectation is simply don't have your cell phone or technology out and in use during class time. And once you enter the classroom, it should be turned off and put away. A reminder with attendance, we need to do a better job in regard to our overall attendance, students. Right now, during the school year, we will share with you some of the percents in regard to how often we came to school. We need to get you to school more often, plain and simple. Now, we have incentives that we have built in regard to student cards that we will have a drawing for monthly. We also have, at semester time, these Beats headphones that we'll have a drawing for anybody with perfect attendance can be eligible to have their name drawn and win these nice Beats. So we will have attendance incentives that we will use to get you here. Another incentive that we use is our three main dances: homecoming, court warming, and prom. Any student wishing to attend has to have 90% attendance. There are also other requirements with it, but it pertaining to attendance, very, very important. So please maintain that, not just the week of the dance, but all year. And that will give you a better opportunity to be successful here at William Chrisman High School. Last but not least, we want to remind you, not only has our schedule changed to where we have 8 blocks a day, but we have shortened our passing time between those classes. In years past, we had always had 5 minutes between each class. So when the bell rang to dismiss first block, you had 5 minutes to get to second. During that time, after 3 minutes, you had a warning bell, and you had 2 minutes then to get to the next class before you were counted tardy. The time between first and second, or second and third, any time between class now, is 4 minutes. So we have taken 1 minute away. I ask that you do your best to, when you leave class, if you need to talk to a friend, run to your locker, go to the bathroom, you do so as quickly as possible, but with respecting getting to your next class on time. It is an incredible disruption to walk into class late. You may not think so, but when the teachers are starting the class immediately when the bell rings, it disrupts the learning environment for everybody else when you walk in late. Your rule of thumb, if before you talked to your friends to the 2-minute bell and then got to class and you got so on time, you should still be able to do that now. But you'll just have a minute less with a 4-minute passing time to do those things before the 2-minute bell rings. But when that 2-minute bell rings, you should be on your way, if you have not done so already, getting to class. We need to do a better job at decreasing our tardies and getting to class on time and being in class when we're supposed to. If we had 2 goals for this year for you, I would say knocking down tardies and getting to class and increasing our overall attendance rate. I will bet that that will almost guarantee success for all of you if you can take care of those two things. It increases the likelihood of success greatly. Again, welcome back to the 128th year of William Crispin High School. We look for an exciting year ahead of us. We have moved our MORP dance to Friday night after the football jamboree. Football jamboree is 6 o'clock. We have 3 neighboring schools come in. It's really a scrimmage. It gives you an opportunity to see your football team for the first time. And then after that, at 8 o'clock, we will have our back to school dance. Again, welcome. And as always, go Bears.